Freeform passing is one of the most underrated aspects of being a great thrower of the football in Madden 24. And today I'm going to show you how to make 3 passes using freeform to attack man coverage, and just by changing the location of the passes, you can turn these throws that are 50-50 balls that can get broken up to throws that can be completed basically every single time. Now, freeform really is just a way to pass lead to the receiver outside the normal range that Madden will let you do it. This can let you put the ball in positions that only your receiver can catch it and the DB will have no shot. Now, when you're throwing the ball in Madden, you can pass lead the ball and stalk. That is going to be within the shadow circled area on the ground. But now by holding the L2 button as you're throwing, you can aim outside the targeted area and you're going to have way more control on where you want to throw the football. Now, my freeform settings I'm using are near and 16 out of 20, and these work great for me, and you can edit these in your settings. Now, the first throw we are going to be looking at are back shoulders. These are one of the most deadly, borderline unstoppable throws that a quarterback can make in the NFL, and the elite QBs in the league use their unbelievable accuracy and anticipation to put the ball in the perfect spot. But for most Madden players, these type of back shoulder throws are basically unusable and will just lead to incompletions or interceptions. But I figured out how to pair freeform passing and fades to pick up huge yardage versus man coverage every time you want to throw it, and this combo is something that will leave your opponent with no good options on how to stop it. So the play I'm going to be looking at is going to be HB angle in trips tight end flex. So I just said, we're going to be looking at this specific play at a trips tight end flex, but this tip here, guys, does not need to be run out of this play. You really just need 3 elements to run it. First, you want to find a play where you have trips to one side of the field. So that's the first element, and you want to run your trips to the short side. So if the ball's on the hash, come out with your trips to the short side. You can run it doubles, but I've found trips work better. Now, the other element you need is you need to have your outside receiver right here on a fade. Now, there's 2 different types of fades in Madden, and not a streak. So a streak is directly upfield. Then there's fades in Madden that are going to have a little bit of an outside release, then get upfield. We need these type of fades right here where they're going to go upfield, then at about 5 yards they start to fade out and ride down the sideline. I've tried all the different options in practice mode to see which one worked the best, and this by far works the best. So find these fades. You can find them in basically any playbook. This is just a play I chose to use, but those fades are what you want. Then the last element, now this isn't necessarily even for the man coverage part, but when you want to attack zone and stuff, I like to have this streak in the middle. But for this man part, you don't even need to worry about that. It's really have it trips, have one of these backside fades, and run it to the short side of the field. That is what I found when you want to run versus man or zone works the best. But here we are just going to be looking at this versus man coverage. This is where I really love to use this. So how this is going to work, guys, is I've went in practice mode. I've tried a bunch of different things. How we basically want to run this is we want to let this receiver sprint downfield, and you don't want to start to wind up and throw this back shoulder football till the DB actually turns and gets into a full sprint. If he's still facing the receiver or still making his turn, do not start your throw yet. Wait until he's completely turned, then you can release it in back shoulder. Now we're going to get into the back shoulder more, but you can see we're going to pull the back shoulder, but there I want to really focus on the timing. Let's watch that once in full speed. So as soon as this receiver or the DB starts to turn, so right here, see how he's not quite turned, now he's fully turned and sprinting. That is when we want to start to throw that back shoulder, and we can just drop it in behind him. So that is when you want to start to throw it. Now we're going to look at the actual skill-based passing, freeform passing. So once we got the timing down, this guy's in a full sprint. As soon as I see him turn, get into the full sprint, you see I threw this one a little bit earlier. Now we want to freeform this ball, and we want to pull this ball. So you will see, so this is kind of your basic passing window right here. This kind of shadow circle on the field. You'll see I actually pull my stick, hold L2 and pull my stick, and I pull this outside of the circle and aim it to back towards the sideline as much as I can. So that is where we want to aim it, and you can just drop this in, and the DB will not be able to actually turn his feet and go to that ball before you can drop it in. So here it is again, DB fully sprint. As soon as he sees the sprint, then we can do it. Now see, there's our shadow box, and I'm pulling this back away from the corner to the sideline as much as I can, and we can drop it in. Now, another aspect of this, guys, even when people click on, you'll see this guy clicks on, he actually cannot get control of the DB fast enough to turn and get to the ball, and you can just back shoulder this along the sideline. Here's in the red zone. The red zone can be a little risky, but I wanted to show you guys it can work. As long as you have room to let this guy get fully in his turn and fully sprint, you can pull it back away and keep it away from the DB and back shoulder it 2 feet down. That's a touchdown. Here's one more. So as soon as he sprints, full sprint, back shoulder, and see how the turn, even if he clicks on, if he doesn't click on, the DB will not turn in time once you get the timing down, and you can drop it in along the sideline. Now, what you will see if people want to run a lot of man coverage, what you'll see them start to do is they'll try, okay, I'm going to try to press. So here he's going to play press with 2 safeties over the top. So here's the safety over top of the press. What's going to happen is when people are playing this 2-man under look, these players are going to be pressed, and they're also going to be shaded down. So now once they press, they're going to be in a trail position. So when they're trailing, now that is going to leave an opening up along this hole shot. And this is why even when we're playing against man coverage, I do prefer to have this inside receiver on a streak. Because now if they're playing 2-man under, this safety is going to get held inside. So now he can't jump out to this fade up along the sideline. This player is going to be in trail, and now we can drop this in over his head. But once again, look at my pass lead here, guys. So now this player's in trail. So I'm not going to throw this back shoulder. I'm going to throw this up pass lead as far as I can. Hold L2, pass lead up and away from this DB, keep it away from this safety, and now drop this upfield. And now we can just drop it in the bucket in along the sideline. So against these press looks, now instead of pulling back, so here he tries to press. Now we're going to put some air under this, and we want to pass lead this up and away from that corner. Let our guy run under it. So that is how we can use that fade, guys, to attack press and normal off-man coverage. Then the next throw we are looking at are going to be corner routes to beat man coverage. For most Madden players, these are a decent way to attack man, but when you understand how to throw them open with skill-based passing and how to read the leverage of defenders to place the ball in the right spot, they will become your go-to way to beat man defense and allow you to shred these man looks every time you face them. Okay, so corner routes, guys, these are my ultimate favorite way to attack man coverage. I think they're incredibly underrated, but most people don't really understand how you actually want to pass lead them to use them to your full advantage. So corner routes, I love them. One reason I love them, guys, is because most people, they're going to be playing a user over the middle of the field. So if you try to run posts, anything breaking in, slants, digs, that is going to go into the user. These corner routes you can throw out towards the sideline, keep it away from the user, and once you learn this pass leading, it is going to make them so difficult to stop. So we're going to have a corner route out number 14 right here. This is DK Metcalf. He's going to get upfield. I do have short in a lead on this guy. That is going to help on corner routes, but this isn't about, how much separation he gets or anything. This is about how you want to throw the ball. You can throw this route. You're going to see some of these, the ability will not activate and will still be able to complete the ball. So he's going to get upfield. Now, right here, I want you to take a look. You're going to see right here, guys, look where I pass lead. So the gray box, the shadowed box is the normal pass area. I'm pulling that down and away as far as I can. And that's going to be because look where the DB is in relation to DK. He's on his upfield hip. So now if you tried to pass lead this up here, loop it in and drop it in over this guy's head, he's going to have an angle to this ball. But because we pull this down and away and keep it away from this safety because he's on DK's high hip, now he's got to come through DK Metcalf and down to get to the ball. And it is just almost an impossible angle. Look at this coverage. He is locked down. We have short in a lead on this guy. We didn't even separate that well, but because of where we pass lead it, we keep it away from the corner. He has to go through DK to get to the ball, and we can just squeeze that in. So that is when we see DBs in that high trailing position, we want to drop it and pull it as way out as far as we can. So here's another one. See how he's upfield most of the time against these corner routes. He's going to be upfield over top of your receiver. So, if he's doing that, pull it down and away. Keep it as far away from as he can. We're going to hold L2, pull our stick. He actually has to jump and make this play, but look at how close he is. If we don't pass lead it that much, he's going to be able to step in front, get the knockout, or break it up. Here it is again. Right here, he's going to run press this time. We're going to break out. He's on his high hip. Now, if we try to drop this ball up here, this guy's going to be able to meet it at the football, but now we're pulling it down and away. He's got to cover so much more distance, plus go through DK Metcalf's body to get there. Just easy work. One more time up along the sideline right here. So he's going to get upfield, boom, break. Now, this one, I want you to pay attention to our thing. So I didn't use the free form on this one. See how the shadow box here, I'm inside the shadow box. So I did not, or the circle, I did not actually pull this out. Now I want you to see what happens here. Boom. See how it's kind of back shoulder of DK. This guy easily, if he clicked on, if he had acrobat, if he was half a step closer, that would have been picked off. So right here, I actually am still able to get the completion, but if I would have used skill-based passing there or the free form, there is no chance that DB would be anywhere near it. So that is how you want to throw that ball if they're in your front hip ahead of you, kind of in that trail position. Now I want to show you the other way to throw the ball. Now DK is going to be here and he's going to break. Look at the DB now in relation to DK. So now, before, we are looking at it when the DB is on his high hip, right? And now we want to pass lead this down and away to keep that as far away from DK as we can and make it an easier throw. Now, if he's underneath DK and in his shallow hip, if we tried to pass lead that down and away, look at how much easier it's going to be for this player to undercut that route. So instead, what do? I pass lead this up and away, because now it's the same principle. He's going to have to go through DK and it's a longer run. So you want to pass lead this up and away, drop that over his head. Now we can rack catch it, get upfield, we get a big gain. Here we have one more again. Boom. So right here, he's more in his downfield hip. So we can pass lead this up and away, keep it away from that DB. And when you do it this way, if you have them in more of this trailing position, see how he's below DK here? If he's in that below trailing position and you pass lead it up, now you can rack catch it, use your speed, get down the field, and we get an extra like 25, 30 yards on that play. So guys, read that corner. That trailing position is so important. And once you understand that, you are going to be able to use corner routes just shred man almost every single time. Then if you want to take your Madden game to the next level, you need to check out my website, Scheme Kings. Up right now, I have a video where I show you how you can use this free-form passing to attack each kind of zone coverage using these back shoulder fades, and it's going to make you so difficult to stop offensively. Then also on the site, I'm in the process of releasing a new full defensive scheme, and I'm calling it my Ravens attacking defense. And there's already multiple videos up for it on the site, and there's going to be a ton more on the way in the future to make it one of the best defenses you can run in Madden 24. Then also on the site, you can find 4 of my other full schemes that are out so far for Madden 24, with my NFL spread offensive scheme, my Georgia Bulldogs match-based defense, my wide zone offense, and my NFL Mount Rushmore offense. You can also get access to my playbooks on Scheme Kings, which are full written breakdowns for my schemes, and I have 10 out so far, with my newest being my Mount Rushmore offense that is 66 pages long and will make running each one of these schemes so much easier and so much more effective. Then there's also a sale on the site. Use code RAVENS at checkout for 50% off your first month, and this is going to run till March 21st. If you want to check out Scheme Kings, it will be linked down in the description below. Then the last type of throw we are looking at is how to throw the deep ball versus man coverage, and this is something that most Madden players get wrong. Now, when you are throwing the deep ball versus zone, you want to hold down your throw button and bullet pass these, because versus zone, you are attacking an opening in the zone coverage and you have to get the ball to the receiver before that hole closes. But versus man coverage, it works different. Now, if you want to try to bullet pass these deep balls, the DB is going to be in a trail position, and now the launch angle of the ball will be low, and he can either jump up and pick it off or get a knockdown. But if you actually tap the throw icon plus pass lead up and away from the defender, now even if the DB is in that same trail position, the ball is now going to be at a high launch angle and drop into the receiver's hands, and the DB will be unable to jump up and play the football. Okay, so for these guys, this is all about how you want to take the top off defenses. It is totally different throwing the deep ball versus man versus zone. Like this, I think most people don't really understand, and sometimes I do it too, and it can lead to a ton of bad picks. So right here we have a Z post. I love Z posts to attack man deep, and basically what's going to happen is when this guy cuts up field, look at this positioning. This guy's not super open. He had a blitz. I mean, I had a corner out wide open, but I wanted to try to take a shot. He had no safeties deep. Like, we're not wide open here. We don't have crazy separation, but watch the launch angle of this ball, guys. I tap this ball and I pass lead it up. Watch the ball come out of Patrick Mahomes' hands here. It is a rainbow. Up, getting air, and I'm letting my receiver run under this ball. Now, he clicks onto his DB here, but he's going to be in a trail position, and look at the angle. This drops in. This guy's in incredible position. He's running step for step with me, but I drop it into the bucket over his head. Now, if I tried to bullet past that, this guy's gonna undercut it, go up, get the football. We squeeze it into a tight window. Here's another one, guys. This isn't even a great throw, but I want to show you the launch angle of this is what makes this possible. This is right before the half, so I said I'm gonna try a shot to the end zone. We'll see what happens. So right here, Randy Moss one-on-one. Look at this. This guy is in good position. He's running step for step. I pass lead this up, and I want to just give my guy a shot. Once again, watch the angle, the launch angle of this football. This is going up, guys. This is getting out of our field of view. It's going up in the air, and it's going to rainbow down. Now watch this for DB. He's in perfect position. If I bullet pass this, he's just going to jump up and pick it. We drop it in over his head. Because of the launch angle, we're rainbowing that down. He's going to be into trail position. So when he goes up to make a play, that is just going to drop in over his fingertips. So guys, even if guys are step for step for you, like, oh, those two weren't even the best throws. I didn't even have great separation, but I just wanted to show that launch angle is going to be the difference between getting a completion there and it getting picked. Here's another Z post from 84 right here. He's going to get upfield. He's going to break. Now see this launch angle again. I'm launching this ball, and here, this is all about the pass lead. Look at, so here's our shadow circle. Here's our pass lead. We're pass leading that as far out as we can, and we're letting our guy run under it. This guy's in trail position. He's in fine positioning, guys, here. But because look at where I pass led that and I put air under it. If this ball's 2 yards shorter and a low angle, he's easily going to either knock that down or pick it. But because I dropped that out in front and I put air under it, it's a completion for like 50 yards down the field. Here's one more, guys, right here. Boom. And watch our angle here. I'm pass leading this out and away. Look at this guy's more open. But once again, if I drop this an extra 2 yards shallower, now look at where this guy's going to be. He's going to be 2 yards closer to you, going to be right there. Might be an incompletion, might be able to pick it off. But because we pass lead that out in front, it is a touchdown. Now, this freeform passing is going to make you so much better at attacking man defenses. And then remember, there's part 2 of this video up right now on Scheme Kings showing you how you can attack zone coverage with the back shoulder fades. And there is so much more on the site just to make you a better Madden player. But then if you want an unstoppable full scheme that will allow you to use all of this skill-based passing to its full potential, then you need to check out my Peyton Manning Colts offense right here.